morning, beloveds. They promised us thunderstorms yesterday and we saw nothing. But I live in this particular part where, like, there's a line of thunderstorms coming at us, and all of a sudden it will do this and go around us. And we're just like, ah. So, there's like a 20% chance of rain today. Probably not, but, we can hope out. We can hope. Do I necessarily want thunderstorms? No, but a little rain would be nice. Like this morning, we got up and got out for that ride about 7:15. It was already almost 80 degrees. It's going to be a hot summer. All right. We have a 3-page article today, so a little more reading, a little less talking. I don't know if that was going to be a yawn or a sneeze, but you didn't need to see it either way. So here we go. So let's do the housekeeping. And all the housekeeping is me reminding you that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center. The website is creativelife.org. The constant contact is info@creativelife.org. If you will email that, you will get 1 email a week, tells you what's going on for the week of the month. The hot links are hot, and it is a blind copy, which means nobody will see your email. So you won't end up on anybody else's email because of us. All right, and then the social medias. Got to do the social medias because that's what we're doing this on. With the social medias, we do not monetize it. We don't want to deal with the ads any more than you do. So what we ask you to do instead is go like, subscribe, share, follow the pages, and then share, and comment on the posts. What that will do is bump us in the algorithms. More people will see our stuff. So if you could do that, we would appreciate it. And we are Creative Life Spiritual Center or Creative Life Spark, depending on which platform. And I am the Running Rev Ryan across all of the platforms. So that is it. Okay, so we are doing Living the Science of Mind text. And what this does, is a collection of essays. I honestly think that what the essays came from originally is people went up to Ernest with questions. They either wrote to him or called him or met with him after lectures and said, hey, tell me more about this. Which then ended up being a take-home course or an at-home course that you, in the back of the Science Mind magazine, which you could mail off for. And then you could go through this 48-week lesson, 1 lesson a week. They would just mail you a lesson, which is really cool. They did collect all those and bind them into, I think it took either 5 or 6 books. Which I got my hands on. Now, because I know somebody who had multiple copies and gifted me a set. But I found them on Amazon and they were on the Science of Mind archive. So, if you want to take a look at that. So, that's what we are doing. I just keep toying with the idea of, wouldn't it be fun to do the take-home course together? For 48 weeks? That's a year commitment. That's a lot. But it might be fun. We'll see. All right. So, the title for today is Be Yourself. So, let's see what Ernest thinks about being yourself. I know what Oscar Wilde says. Oscar Wilde says, be yourself because everybody else is taken. So, all right, be yourself. People are the most interesting things in the world. While it is true that we do not always get along with them as well as we might, it is also certain that we could not get along without them. We need each other more than we realize. The world is made up of people, and human relationships are merely reactions of people to each other. Many business firms maintain human relation departments for the purpose of helping their employees to appreciate each other and get along together in their work. We are told that the 2 things people are most interested in are love and personality. This is not strange because everyone wants to love and be loved. Everyone wants to feel needed. Every individual wishes to feel that they play an important role in life. All are attracted to the person who has a winning personality. One thing is certain, whatever our personality may be, or whatever it is to become, because honestly, our personality is constantly evolving. I mean, yeah, as it should, as we learn new things. Okay, let's see. Whatever it is to become is wrapped up in one idea that is a spirit in person, and God itself is incarnated in every living soul. This spirit within us is the gift of heaven, and without it, we would not be alive. It is the recognition of this spirit within us that is the true starting point for the development of personality. We often think that we have to pattern our lives after the lives of others. Okay, so I learned, imitation is the most sincere form of flattery. There's a second part to that quote. About mediocrity. So imitation is not everything that is cracked up to be. All right. At the moment I thought I had it, and then as soon as I spoke it out loud, I was like, oh yeah, wait, I don't know that. But it's an interesting quote. You should go look up the other half of imitation is the most sincere form of flattery. But it's like, but mediocrity is its currency or something. It's like, okay. But our personality, no matter how winsome it may be, or how convincing or dominant, is more than a mask we wear. It is a manifestation of an inner hidden principle, a divine spark which within us, which uses both the mind and the body for its own self-expression. We could think up all the beautiful things to say and the most wonderful and best methods of approaching people and study all the arts of personality development that have ever been taught and still fall flat on our faces as far as the real personality is concerned. For personality is not the clothes we wear, nor is it our physical appearance alone. It is not just a dominant or domineering something so powerful that it brushes everything else aside. Okay? I will tell you, I think one of the secrets to people is being curious about them. Like being interested in people. My undergraduate degree is in anthropology. I find people endlessly fascinating. I really enjoy listening to people tell me their stories. Okay, back to Ernest. I don't enjoy listening to people complain. There's a difference. And there's a difference between venting and complaining. But I do enjoy listening to people tell me their stories. Now I'm going back to Ernest. Okay. Personality is the flowering of the spirit within us, the coming forth of a secret relationship that we all hold to God. The people who have most completely influenced the human race throughout the ages are those who have known this and who have made but little effort to influence others. They are the ones who have had the deepest feelings of the divine presence within them. No one will ever be satisfied or happy or secure in developing a dominant personality. Those who win their way through life by force eventually become weary with the struggle, the purpose of which never reaches its final goal. Personality is not an external thing, for everything we do and say and think, and everything that we appear to be outwardly is always the result of some hidden fire burning at the center of our being, some divine reality which we did not create, but we may discover. I think we can say without hesitation, as I just hesitate there. Okay, hang on. I think we can say without hesitation that the person who finds themselves in God will discover at the center of their own being something which dominates without effort, something which does not have to assume a false front, something which, by the very nature of its being, is both human and divine. But some may say, now you are introducing religious ideas that we don't want to be bothered with. What we want is something that can take us into the activities of life in a triumphant manner. Now, this is both right and wrong. Right in that we wish to be successful in living, wrong if we think that of ourselves We can add or take away from what God already has given. For while we can and should develop an outer personality, back of this there is something you and I never thought of. We did not plan it, we did not create it. Finding this something is like exploring a new land. This country already existed before we discovered it. There are heights and depths to our being, to our own being, which we have not plumbed. That's a particularly good line. I also like the fire burning line, so, you know. There is a divine person back of our personality. Oh, wow. Gosh, bless. Hang on. That's a good line, too. There is a divine person back of our personality, a unique manifestation of the living spirit. It is never alike to any two people. This is proved by the fact that there are no two persons' thumbprints. Wait, hang on. I just made a mess of that line. This is proved by the fact that no two persons' thumbprints are alike. No two blades of grass are alike. No two anything are identical. And yet, everything is rooted in one life, one presence, and one power. Why then should we expect that any two individuals should be alike? God itself has placed a unique stamp on everyone. We should not study to be alike, but rather develop what we really are. Unity does not mean uniformity. Our unity with other people does not mean that we must think and act like they do. All it means is that we should get along with them. Oof. We should unify with everything while at the same time keeping intact and whole that God-giving something at the center of our being, which is the spiritual ego. To find this true center is the end and aim of our search. This divine person within us has, in a sense, one hand placed in the hand of God and the other outstretched to humanity. For the person who finds themselves in God will discover God in others. Oh, that's a good one. That is a good one. Which is the whole point of this work. Because once you see God in yourself, you can't help but see it in other people. Ooh, ooh. Okay. Whew. So, starting back with that line, for the person who finds themselves in God will discover God in others. They will see things in a different light than will the one who thinks they are alone. They will draw strength and inspiration from life itself, for no person can live without God and be whole. Oh. Since everything is included in God, for God is the only presence and power that there is, the person who wants to be the most themselves will have to be the one who has discovered more of themselves in that which is greater than they are. Our capacity to think, to live, and to move is non-physical. There is an invisible presence hidden within us, which has its source in a higher power, and which acts through our actions, wills through our minds, and reveals itself in what we are doing. At the center of our being, there is a divine person, a unique incarnation of God. This is the source of all real inspiration, here and here alone. At the center of our being is the real creative power. The question is whether we are living from this center or whether we are thinking of ourselves as detached, separated, divided, alone, and inadequate. We all have direct access to the infinite presence, the universal person. There could be no more beautiful thought than that. The divine spirit itself, infinite as it is also within us. And with this acceptance of God, there must come an acceptance of the real self. that self which blossoms in our relationships with others and finds fruit in its own action. Be yourself. And that's what, I mean, that's the whole purpose of spiritual practice, really. It's to develop that relationship with the divine. And in developing that relationship with the divine, we find out more about ourselves. We learn more about ourselves. And I appreciate that he said that unity is not uniformity. This world would be boring if it was uniform. And you look around in nature, and nature is awash with diversity. You know, all the different kinds of trees, all the different kinds of animals. No, you know, like tiger stripes and zebra patterns, no two are alike, although they look a lot alike, but they're not. So it's like even things that look the same aren't. And so this world is just awash in all of this amazingness. And we get to discover it. We get to go out and learn about the world. And in the process, we learn about ourselves. That's one of the reasons why. So when I was in ministerial school, you got to take religion classes. And I took all of the religion classes because there was not one that I was like, teach me all the religions, because that's what I love. That I'm fascinated by how the world has discovered God. You know, that's what I love. It's like, I want to know about all of the religions and all the spiritualities, just all of them, you know, all of the variety of ways. One of the funniest things somebody ever said to me one time was, I thought all anthropologists were godless. And I was like, how in the heck could anthropologists be godless? Because we get to see so many different expressions of God. Okay. So, but I happen to have a very good Islam teacher, because he was a Sufi, which is the mystic of Islam. And, he talked about the 3 books. There's the book, which is, you know, the holy scriptures, the sacred literature. Then there's the book of you, and then there's the book of nature. If you want to know God, those are the 3 books you study. The book of nature, the book of you, and sacred literature. Because all sacred literature is an exploration of nature and you. That's what it is. So, the more strongly you come to know God, you don't lose yourself in God. You learn more about yourself by knowing more about God. And that's the truth, as I know it. So it's a worthy endeavor. All right. I'm going to, let this go. I'm going to go move into the process of my day. So now I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a take care of business day, a you got this day. Let's wrap this week up day, a do something fun for yourself day, I'm just going to run out of words day, apparently, which is an okay day, a good day. And if that is too much, oh, you know what? I always do cuddle your fur babies day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, oh, drink plenty of water day. It's got to be warm, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough, just as you are. You are a beloved expression of the divine. I mean, that's what we're talking about today, right? Beloved expression of the divine. You are God incarnate in this form. Not all of God. He did say spark, which is why I like to use either divine spark or divine splinter. So you are a beloved expression of the divine. You are a divine spark. You are a brilliant light, a divine spark, spirit in motion, God in action, a beautiful masterpiece, and a work in progress at the same time at your own pace, or as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are a godling, which is another way to look at it. You are God incarnate. Just when you kind of think about that, it's like, Oh, it makes you sit up a little straighter in your chair. That is who you are. So get to know who the divine knows you to be. Because the divine knows you to be good. It's all the divine knows. And from there, anything is possible. All right, beloveds. Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I will be back with you around 9-ish tomorrow, and we will tackle How Old Are You? Ooh. Fortunately, it's nowhere near my birthday, so I'm okay with this. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved, and I will see you next time.